What's up, everybody? As you can see, I'm playing Halo, and I've been playing a lot of Halo lately. I guess you could say I have Call of Duty to thank for my sudden, I guess if you want to call it defection to Halo, but I would say it's due to sort of my love of my love of science fiction and all of that. But also, definitely, I've become just completely sick and tired of military shooters. I'm totally burnt out on them. And seeing as how a new Call of Duty comes out every year, and every other shooter that comes out, mind you, like Medal of Honor or whatever, is just looking to sort of um, achieve the success of Call of Duty, but by copying Call of Duty. So I long for something different, as I was just really becoming disenfranchised with gaming altogether. You know, I didn't really care. I didn't have fun gaming, so this was sort of a welcome departure, and I'm very glad I got into Halo. The timing is good too. I mean, the first Halo game I ever bought was Reach. It wasn't the first one I ever played though, but it was since I actually owned it, it's the one I played the most, and so yeah, I was pretty much cemented in my belief that Halo was trash until I finally checked out ODST and played the Halo 3 multiplayer. But yeah, as many of Halo 4 is coming out this fall, and despite some of the changes they're making to it, I do think that it'll return the series to its former glory as far as the multiplayer front is concerned. Many people are concerned about loadouts and sprint coming into the game, but the fact that they've gone back to the health system in Halo 3 sort of alleviates many of my concerns about sprint. I think they're gonna tweak the armor abilities so they actually work. Hopefully, the jetpack will be more of like a shock trooper thing instead of just fake Boba Fett's running around. And as far as the BR being back, they've returned the BR to hit scan status. Now, one of the first things I noticed about when I started playing Halo 3 was that it was definitely more difficult than Halo Reach, and I guess one of the reasons of that is the fact that the weapons are not hit scan. It's actually bullet travel time, so you had to lead your targets more depending on how far they were. With hit scan, it's wherever your reticle is, the bullet is there instantly, and that tends to make things easier, I think, but it compensates for any kind of connection issues. Since they're returning the hit scan, I can only assume that they're not going to be doing dedicated servers for Halo 4. So you know, I, you know, I can understand why people do want hit scan. I would prefer bullet travel time, but if I had to deal with either that or the lag, then yeah, I would take hit scan too. Now, since they are doing hit scan again, hopefully they really tone the auto aim down so that it's not just sort of a trigger spam fest, because playing zero bloom matches in Reach, while they can feel refreshing, oftentimes they're just kind of like spam fest. And the fact in Reach that you can sort of you can strafe pretty quickly, or what Ty will call hammer dancing, it tends to make it a really silly looking fight. So hopefully they tone the auto aim down and all of that so that there's still a lot of skill, and there still is a big skill gap in the game. Now, one of the things I've already touched on and I wanted to speak about definitely was versatility in your gaming collection. I know FPS right now is definitely the most popular genre, but for any first person shooter fans out there, when you look in your collection, are all of your shooter games basically the same dance, or are they like remotely different? Because for me, I have COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Black Ops. I skipped Modern Warfare 3, and well, I should say I dodged that bullet. But for the most part, all of my first person shooters are generally the same experience, just sort of copied and pasted. There really isn't that much versatility coming out anymore, and I think that well, I should speak for myself. It causes me to focus more on games that do feel different, because it's like a breath of fresh air. You know, while Halo's a first-person shooter, the flow of the game is completely different from your insta-gib shooters, as you need to, it involves a lot more space management, inventory management, your position as opposed to your enemy's position, and the flow of it. It feels very refreshing, and it feels awesome when you're sort of in a rhythm or a stride as far as taking out other players. Um, that said, while I love playing Halo and greatly enjoy the game, the community is definitely on the more immature and pretty ludicrous side. Looking at some of the reveal and the footage from Halo 4, obviously the internet exploded when they announced loadouts and sprint and armor abilities are back, and some of the armor abilities they detailed. That first night I was freaking out too. Forerunner, Vision or whatever sounds like a lame thing. Didn't really think much on how they would implement it. The instant respawns was my biggest concern, and since there's been some clarification that there won't be instant respawns in objective-based match, so I guess only in free-for-alls there'll be instant respawns. I think they should leave it out the game totally. That's my opinion, but who knows? I'll see how it flows. We'll see how it works. But the community as a whole, majority of the community seems like almost like they have some sort of a mental instability or something. My favorite post that I've ever seen was a dude who's posted about Halo 4 being quote unquote overdone, and that there's too much detail in the game, and that the maps should all just be full of flat gray walls and floors and ceilings. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. But a lot of the concerns I had were they after taking a deep breath, you kind of chill out a bit, and then hearing some of the things Frank has been posting on NeoGraph, you sort of chill out a bit and you understand, like, okay, maybe it's not as crazy as we're thinking, and it's not, just because there are armor abilities back in the game, it doesn't mean they're going to work exactly the way they did in Reach, i.e., it doesn't mean they're going to be crappy and just sort of, kill the game flow and structure as we know it. Also, just looking at some of the gameplay footage that we've seen in the video docs, it looks more like the Halo experience or flow that most people are used to and most people love, while still, adding new things that genuinely advance the whole franchise without, kind of shortchanging it like Reach did. So overall, I think people, especially as far as speaking to the Halo community, they really needed to chill the F out with all of the craziness. If you go to Halo Waypoint forums or whatever, it's just every single day it's a new post about, oh my gosh, Call of Duty in space, blah 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 blah. Until they add kill streaks, I'm chilling.